Hey, welcome to SoCode. Today we'll be solving one of the most famous Leetcode questions called longest consecutive sequence. Without wasting any time, let's try to understand what the question is trying to say. So what we are given, we are given an unsorted array of called nums, and we have to find the longest consecutive element sequence. So we have I've written two inputs here. I'll try to see what the question is trying to say. Let's say we are given an array as an input as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what is the my longest consecutive sequence here? My longest consecutive sequence is nothing but the complete array, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what is the length of this array? The length of the array is nothing but 6. So we have to return as output as 6. Let's try to see the second input here. What are the longest consecutive sequence here? My one possible longest consecutive sequence is 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. My second consecutive sequence can be 12, 13, 14, and 15. 12, 13, 14, and 15. So these are my two possible longest consecutives. These are my two possible sequence. And which is the longest out of these two? The longest is this with a length 4. This has a length 3. So what will return? Will return 4 as my output. Hope you have now a clear understanding of question. Okay, now let's try to build the intuition how we can solve this question. Okay, so here is one input array which is given to us, and we have to see what we have to check what is the longest consecutive sequence subsequence. Let's first try to see what will be my answer here. My longest possible my one possible subsequence can be 200, 201, 202. These three elements right here. Sorry, these three elements right here. What is my second consecutive subsequence here? My second consecutive subsequence can be 205. What can be my third one here? My third one can be 1, 2, 3, 4. And what is my fifth consecutive subsequence? Can be 6 and 7. And what is the longest out of these two? This have a length of 3, this has a length of 1, this has a length of 4, this has a length of 2. So my longest subsequence is 4, nothing but 4. So this will be my output. Okay. So how we are doing this here is, what we can do is basically we can try to figure out what. Let's first see what will be my brute force approach here. Let's say I start from this element 200. What I need to check? I need to check if 201 if 201 is present in this complete array. I will check if 201 is present in this complete array. I'll start iterating from start and see, yes, 201 is present here. Once we get 201, I'll see if 202 is present in my complete subarray. Again, we'll check the complete subarray to see if 202 is present. Once we are in 202, we'll see if 203 is present in my complete subarray. No, 203 is not present in my complete subarray. So we can break and see, okay, my longest consecutive sequence up till this point is nothing but of length 3, 1, 2, and 3. Now, what we'll do, we'll iterate this pointer again to second element, that is 200, that is 205. Now I'll check if 206 is present in my complete subarray. 206 is not present, so we'll go ahead and do the go ahead and say go to the next element, it's 2 is present. So 2 is present, is 3 is present, 3 is present, is 4 is present, 4 is present. So what we are doing here is, for each element in my sub array, I'm searching this complete array again and again to find my next element, which is nothing but, if there are n number of elements here, I'm searching the complete array n number of times, which is an n square solution. If you try to submit this solution, you'll get a most readed error called TLE, time limit exceed. So how to optimize this? We can optimize this from the intuition we build here. How we can search my elements in something called as a constant time here. How we can do that? We can do that using something called a set. So searching an element in set is nothing but a constant operation. And if we do it for n number of elements, we can get a solution of something called as big O of n. This is what they are expecting here. So how to build this in how to uh, solve this question using set? Let's try to solve this question using set. So basically, first what we will do is, hope you have got the intuition why we are using set here, to get to reduce a search complexity to big O of 1. Let's say what we'll try to do is, we'll start from my first element. We'll check basically, can 200 be my starting point, a start point of a possible subsequence? 200, how we will know that 200 can be my start point of the subsequence? So I've written all my possible subsequence here in this array. So what we will try to check here is, what we need to identify here is, so I have written all the possible subsequence in my array, and what we need to identify here is, we need to identify the start of my possible subsequence. Once we have the start of my possible subsequence, we can check the other, basically we can find the subsequence. How to check the start of the subsequence? Let's say we have to check if 200 can be my start of the subsequence. 200 can only be the start of the subsequence if 199 is not present in my array. So I'll check if 199 is present in my array. No, 119 is not. So it means that 200 can be the start of my subsequence. Now I'll do the same. Can 205 be my start of the subsequence? 205 can be my start of the subsequence because 204 is not present in my subarray. So can 1 be my start of the subsequence? Yes, 1 can be the start element of my subsequence because there is no 0 in my array. So 1 can be. So yeah, this is one important thing. Can 2 be my start of the subsequence? 2 cannot be my start of the subsequence because 1 is already presented in my array. So 2 cannot be my start of the subsequence because to be 2 to be the start of my subsequence, there has to be no 1 in the array, but 1 is there. So 2 cannot be my start of the subsequence. So we can do the same approach here. 201 cannot be because 200 is already there. 3 cannot be because 2 is already there. 202 again cannot be because 201 is already there. 7 cannot be because 6 is already there. 6 is 5 there? No, 5 is not there. So 6 can be start of my subsequence. 4 can again cannot be because 3 is already there. So once we have this information, it is very easy to identify my subsequence. we can actually do this in one go, where we don't have to go back and do it again and again. So what we will do is we'll try to see if uh, use this approach and get our answer. So let's say let's me start iterating from the first element here, and let me start iterating from the very first element here. Let's first add everything to my hash set. So first operation will be add everything to the hash set. Once we have added everything to my hash set, okay, so once we have added everything to my hash set, we'll start iterating from the very first element. So first operation we have to check if uh, this can be the start element of my subsequence 200. So how we'll do this is we can simply do this by seeing if 200 minus 1 is present in the hash set. 200 minus 1, that is 199, is not present. Uh, so we can say that 200 can be one possible start of the subsequence. So we'll not do nothing, but we'll try to iterate to the complete subsequence here for this 200 elements. So we'll check if 201 is there, 201 is there, 202 is there, 202 is there, 203 is there, 203 is not there. So we'll break it and see what is the longest subsequence we got up till this point is of of size 3. Now we'll go to my next element, that is 200, that is nothing but 205. So 205 can be again a start of my subsequence here, because there is no 204 here. So we'll start iterating from here. 205 is 206, 206 is not there. So only element that we have starting with 205 of size length 1. Okay, now going to the next element, that is 1. I'll do again the same thing. I'll check if it's the start element. Yes, it can be a start element because 0 is not there. So I'll start iterating for from 1. Is 2 is there, 2 is there, 3 is there, 3 is there, 4 is there, 4 is there, 5 is not there. So what is the size we got up till this point? That is 4, of length 4. Now again I'll move this counter to 2. 2 cannot be the start of my element because 1 is already there, so we won't iterate. 201 cannot be because 200 is already there. Similarly, 3 cannot be my start. 202 cannot be my start because 201 is there. And 7 can be my start. 7 cannot be my start because 6 is already there. 6 can be start. Yes, 6 can be my start. So I'll start iterating from here. See, 7 is there, 7 is there. So my longest subsequence we got it 2. Again, 4 cannot be my start, so we won't iterate for 4. So that's it, and that's how this algorithm will work. So check if start, and if this is uh, start, then if this is true, then iterate for all the elements, next elements. So this will be my approach here. So let's try to write the code. Okay, let's write the code. So let me first initialize a hash set while taking an hash set of type integer. By the way, I'm writing this in Java. You can try to do the same thing in any other language. Uh, so basically result is right now 0, and I'll taking a length called as num.length. Okay, now I just have to add everything to my hash set. Once I have added everything to my this basically will add everything to my hash set. Once I have it, I'll just quickly copy this thing. Now I'll iterate my loop, and basically I'll check if this can be the start of my longest consecutive sequence. How we can check it? We can just say if set dot uh, contains nums of I minus 1, it means that it's not a start of my longest consecutive sequence, so we can just skip this. Otherwise, we can try to get the count. I'll just initialize my count with 0, and I'll take a z variable. I just need to initialize it, and then I will run a while loop and get the last element of the longest consecutive sequence. So if set dot contains nums of I plus j, and then okay, so this can just get my answer. And once you got my answer, this can be one of my possible answers, so I'll store it in my result array, and then I'll do a j plus plus. Yeah, pretty much it. I'll just return my result, and yeah, that's it. Hopefully that should work. Let me try to run it. Okay, my bad, this should be temp count. Okay, now hopefully this should work. Okay, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like if you enjoyed it. And by the way, this was my very first video of this YouTube channel. Uh, so a like will be helpful. See you on the next one. Bye.